Are we alive?
Are we in alive? Are we on alive?
I think we're on alive. Can we get a new show chat, Chaz? Let's do that. Yo, what's up, everyone? I can't see if you're here chatting. Hopefully you are. Today, we're talking about crazy lures. In fact, we had been for 20 minutes before our live crashed. This is the most ridiculous thing ever. But we are back, and we missed you. It's been, 10 minutes? What were we talking about? Great question.
Lunker Hunt Spider.
The Lunker Hunt Spider.
Never got off it.
We did not quite get past that. What?
Chaz is mumbling.
Chaz, what's going on? Oh, did you make it members only? It's members only. I see it.
Unless you're a member.
Okay, can we change it? Are we public now? My goodness. Check that off the rails counter up to like 20, 17. I think.
Just
17. What has happened? Oh my goodness. All right, so I need to make sure that we're good to go on the channel here. Is it showing up public? Maybe. Nope. All right. Well, hey, Mark Thomas made it, so we're there. Good grief, you guys. Sorry about that. We are back. Should I say sorry to boot? Sorry to boot that. We are back, and we're going to talk about some crazy lures again. Let's do that. Goodness gracious. Thank you. So we do have a new show chat, so now I can actually talk to you guys again. Hey, look at all you awesome people. Appreciate everybody taking the time, hopping over to the new stream. We know it's frustrating and annoying. Tell me about it. We were all the ones dealing with it. So let's catch it up. We were talking about the Lunker Hunt Phantom Spider.
I've said it more times in the last 10 minutes than I've said it my whole life.
Only because you got kicked off live 100 times. So I think the biggest thing for everyone is this. It is a finesse hollow body, and if you don't throw it on finessey frog gear, which is an oxymoron, then you're gonna be mad. So we found throwing it on like a medium heavy stick, you got it done. You're going with like 30-pound braid instead of your 60-pound braid. You're a happy camper because you just bend out those hooks. They're really finessey hooks. Point is, it works. You fish it in the slop. The legs actually swim. So if you kind of like twitch it and let it swim, it also does a really good job. I've caught rock bass on that thing. It'll catch anything.
It's super fun. And I think that a lot of people who are like not fans just have never used it. No one's saying it's the best, but it totally works. Like it's funny when people are like, well, it doesn't work. I'm like, you're wrong. That's fine.
It absolutely does work. Is it the best? Absolutely not.
No.
And that's okay. We're all okay with that. So again, the point of the show was crazy lures that actually work. Let's go to the next one though, because we've been talking about that one for too long.
We made a whole video on the next one.
The 13 fishing motorboat. It absolutely heckin' works. I will give you one constructive criticism point for 13 fishing.
Let's say what it is first.
Okay, so it is a stick bait, essentially made out of hyperelastic plastic, right? Stretchy, durable
Super
stuff.
Stretchy worm.
It comes rigged on a 4-aught hook, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're on a 4-aught hook, just
an
Texas
EWG,
rigged.
So it's weedless.
It's weedless. And then you've got a buzz little blade coming out the back, like a mini, tiny buzz blade coming out the back. So you got a prop, right? And that actually hangs off. I think it's attached. It's like a screw lock with Mylar. So it's in there very good, like deep in the plastic.
There's actually a ring around the hook that's attached to like that Mylar, like super tough string, which is then attached to like a turbo metal blade.
It's plastic. That's the criticism I have. If it wasn't plastic, I actually on a false hook set, bashed it against the side of the kayak. It exploded. So I have two, and my white one blew up. So unfortunately, can't fix it. I mean, there is a swivel on the end, so potentially you could fix it. Actually, you could put a different blade on there. It would be
the machine works.
Yeah, I'll just grab my machine, little metal blades. Yeah.
Why wouldn't that work?
I'm going to take a piece of metal from a $30 blade bait and then put it onto this one, which is $4, $5 now. But yeah, so the motorboat, just check out the video. Definitely works. Really cool bait. Another bait that
I'm going to buy everything from 13 Fishing.
I mean, we'll do a 13 Fishing review off. We'll just either we love it or we hate it. We'll just go down the list.
I'll buy a Muse while I'm at it.
Oh God.
Or a Widowmaker caster.
Of course you would.
A Defy Gold.
What's their hyper expensive ice fishing rod?
Oh, an Archangel? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Go ahead and grab 2 or 4 of those. All right. So the next one goes in the pricey crazy category. Now, it's nothing original by any means. Hedden has made the Crazy Crawler, right? Crazy Crawler's been around for a long time, but we got a crawling bait in the Jackal Pompadour. The Jackal, I've fished both, right? The Hedden Crazy Crawler, Jackal Pompadour. Pompador's better. It just is. It just functions better. It is way more expensive, about twice the price, I think. Really cool bait. The Pompadour Junior is insane. Really unique sound. Works really well. Starts up right away. You cast that thing out. You start reeling it in. You're getting that walking action and really consistent, crazy sound that seems to draw the fish in. Like I was throwing the Pompadour Junior and everything, every species was hitting that darn thing. It was awesome. So I'm a big fan of it. I think if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. And in my opinion, it crawls a lot better than the Hedden Crazy Crawler. Like a lot better. It is extremely noticeable. So I get it. Expensive baits. We're not always in on that. That's fine.
Paint job too.
It might be worth it. The paint jobs with Hedden, you get Hedden paint jobs. You get the basics, right? Yeah. There's some good. There's some really old, like tired, worn out patterns.
There's some buzz plug type stuff.
There's some buzz plug. Hey, don't get this one canceled too. This will be your fault at this point. Point is, go check that one out. Okay, this next one was controversial this year because a lot of brands copied it. Right, we're talking, and actually, Tactical Bassin just did a video. And as much as we joke about like, oh, you shouldn't say poop on a live or on a video or whatever, Tactical Bassin made a title video. The title of the video is poop baits.
That's right.
And I just saw it and I was like, oh, neat. And it's already got 60,000 views or whatever. And it's going to skyrocket forever. But they covered all of the the different baits that have come out over the couple of years, right? That are similar to this OG, the Depths cover scat. And if you guys haven't seen the Depths cover scat, we said poop baits. Just imagine that. Not the emoji, but like the actual, that's what it looks like. And it's one that you would look at and you'd go, no way. And whoever sent us this one back in the day, I want to say GFON, and I might be wrong. But somebody sent us this one way back in the day. I have a pack of them. We still need to go fish them. So we could do a video on that as well. They work. Like they just straight work. Plenty of people use them. They work really well. I don't know why. Bass are just up there on the surface getting into the number 2s, like that's cool. Good for them. I don't know why they like it, but it seems to work really well. So if you're looking for some crazy plastics that you want to try, you could definitely check that out. I love the hashtags right now in chat. You guys, you get it. You just
get all poop baits.
All right,
the thing about the cover scat,
yeah,
to me, the name, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they churned out. They know what it looks like. It's a alien turd. The thing about it, who knows why? Can anyone say why
it works? The science behind it? No idea.
What's the science behind the turd?
But why do bass eat birds, turtles, ducks?
Well, because they're hungry. That sort of makes sense. A worm, even to some degree, is looks like a piece of protein. The turd doesn't. What does
water.
It pop?
I don't know. I'm sure they eat maybe they eat just poop, sticks, and stuff that falls out of trees. And, I don't know.
Get it? It doesn't.
License plates.
What are we doing here? What is? I don't actually have a good bead on what we're doing here. What is going on?
I don't know. Obviously, it's working for some folks. So
I know it does. It's just it seems,
Yeah.
I don't know why. who was like, I want a full rundown. I need a full rundown on why this.
Yep. 100%. I am confused. But it is what it is. Whatever. Like, so those are baits that work. That's the point of this episode.
Straight up.
So this next one is interesting, and like you feel differently about it now. This comes out of a company called Chase Baits. If you guys aren't familiar with Chase Baits, you've probably seen things like the flip flop, the big squid baits that they're Texas rigging and doing whatever. These guys, I want to say, based out of Australia, and they're fishing salt and fresh, and they're fishing big, crazy creature stuff. They do have a prop bait called the Drunken Mullet, which is very similar to a Whopper Plopper. It's kind of the same thing. And then they have a whole bunch of other things, like you were talking about the Smuggler, right?
The Pompadour is the one.
Smuggler, and I think the Pompadour is the big one, or is that the Jackal?
Jackal is Pompadour.
Got it. Yeah, well, we just talked about that one a minute ago. Never mind. Getting mixed up on those. But no, the Smuggler is an actual bird. Similar to the Jackal Pompadour in that it crawls. He's got a black and red one, you guys. This thing is insane. It makes a sound that is very difficult to recreate, but we describe the sound that this thing makes as dropping marbles into a bathtub full of water. It's just like bloop, 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 bloop. It's so crazy.
I'm just subtle.
Yeah,
really subtle. So it's got metal wings. It's got metal wings.
Yeah.
It's got two bars that it hits through the chest. I have the all black one, the crow. Yep. And it's got feet just like a bird, and then it's got like a tail sort of that's like red and black, like
for like
material.
Whatever reason.
And then for no reason they just had to put like a little feather on top, and it's got a giant beak and red eyes. It's a demon bird, and it's loud, and that's all there is to it. We did fish it at night. I cast it at least 100 times at night. Never caught a thing.
This is also not the bait that we're talking about that potentially works. What I wanted to talk about was the Frill Seeker and snake bait similar to that. Snake baits with treble hooks on them. Because, I mean, we're talking about that, like, nice topwater slithering action.
So the Frill Seeker is a wake bait.
Yep.
It is a dragon. It's a dragon. It has a rat tail.
Yep.
And it's basically a rat / snake. It's got 3 chunky body parts to it, and it's a wake bait. It's wild. It's totally wild. And it does work, though. I had it on the right day, and I was catching fish. I caught quite a few fish on it, actually. The thing that always got me with it is why did the tail have to be plastic? That made no sense. Why did we need the soft plastic tail?
And I think with a lot of these baits, it's like they weren't. I don't know if this company was like all in. They're like, this is gonna work. We're gonna skimp on it a little bit. I don't want to spend a lot of money on this because I don't feel it's gonna be our top seller. And maybe it's not, because again, it could be a bait that people are sleeping on. But they're typically, with all of the baits on our list here, it's that they do work. Love to see them improved. And a lot of them, unfortunately, like the 13 Fishing motorboat, they end up just disappearing. They go on clearance. They stop being made or whatever. It's just because a lot of people slept on the bait. They didn't see it for what it potentially could be.
So I'm actually looking I'm on Tackle Warehouse looking at 13 Fishing only.
Yep.
A lot of their plastics are on like $2 and $3 closeout.
Half the stuff is clearance.
I am right now loading up.
Great. 13 Fishing video inbound on apparently all of last year's material or whatever.
The Vertigo Minnow has a color. It's called, hold on, wait for me, please. Wait for me. There's Magic Dragon that was very enticing. It's called Melancholy. It's a watermelon with copper flake, and it's a drop shot bait.
Goodness
Purchase.
Gracious. Get it.
For Chase.
So another Chase baits, though, that I wanted to point out is their Ripple Cicada. It's a little tiny cicada, and regardless of cicadas like hatching or whatever, like it doesn't matter. This topwater walking bait at a microscopic level with one tiny treble hook on it is like excellent ultralight to light spinning rig fishing. You're gonna love this thing. I've caught a ton of fish on it. I've had it for a while. It is semi hollow body, like, which is interesting. Like the butt end of it, the bulbous tail, if you will, is kind of a hollow body construction, which is interesting. But it's a great walking bait. It's got little plastic wings that stick out to the side. similar to the Pompadour or the Crazy Crawler.
It gets it done though.
Little tiny dude. It's great. It's a fantastic bait. It works really, really well. So I definitely want to throw that on the list. Another, speaking of smaller baits that are creature shaped, we recently picked up the Savage Gear Ned Rig Salamander. And Savage Gear was
for
top of the list for like real weird stuff. These were on clearance for like $2, $2.50 when we made a big order. So we got 2 different colors. I've been using the chartreuse, and it's kind of like almost a clear with silver flake. I've caught an insane amount of fish on that, just rigging it on a Ned jig. Like whatever your favorite Ned rig jig is, use that. You're going to have a good time. It's a little 3-inch ribbed body, hyper elastic, right? So durable plastic, and it's got the legs and everything. These things are nuts. If you can find, they're still on clearance somewhere, please go pick them up. You're going to enjoy them. They're great. I love them. So that was definitely a good one. And then I also wanted to throw on there another Savage Gear, the 3D Wake Snake, because it's like the Frill Seeker, but without the dragon's mane, right? Like less dragony, more snaky, same idea. Wake lip.
My favorite. The less dragony, more dragony, snaky.
More snaky. I'm a snake.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, snake lures, they can work really, really well. That's an interesting one. Why don't you talk about this next one, because you have this.
Which one?
The OSP.
So
I think it's the Socorro dice.
Yeah, Saikoro, the dice. Do I have them right here? I think I do. Man,
maybe
I got them all.
It's like you put your crazy baits on display.
I didn't
These things are nuts.
So I'll hold one up for you guys.
And I have no idea how to rig it.
I do.
Somebody's secret mate.
So I'm gonna hold up the dice for you. It's literally a die. It has a die pattern on it. Oh, it's gonna be really hard to see against like regular skin because it's like clear. But it basically has like each side has like 4 strings coming out of it, like rubber legs. So it's just like fuzzy dice. They're expensive, they are, but what it is, it's an extremely salted or a non-salted, like dense plastic that sinks, and you put a circle hook through it, and you drop it weightless, and you drop it onto a spot, and just let it lie, and it's sort of like just like it looks like a little something morsel down there, and that's it. Also, the packaging on this makes no sense. It has a flat bottom. You see this?
Yeah, that is interesting.
It has a stand-up pouch. Like, for why? This is 80% of the cost. But yeah. So you can drop shot it for sure. A lot of people carry a line and rig it. But I think circle hook, let it drop. It's for bed fishing, or like when you know there's a fish in a spot and they're really tough to get at. That's what this is for. It definitely works, and it's definitely expensive. But it's a cool idea. Nothing else looks like it in this whole planet Earth.
How much is it?
I think they're like $10 each.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was looking up a lot of these baits. A lot of them are in Tackle Warehouse. Definitely not all of them. But if I put in OSP, sure, cube. Let's see. No, dice. Nope. I'll just put in OSP. It'll be like the third bait. They are $25 a bag.
Lord.
Yeah, they're all out right now. Is there anyone that's in? There's like a bunch of different ones, but they're all out. Looks like September 14th. You can get smoked melon or Suji EB. Everything else is out. I don't know how you got those. It must have been off of BFS Bait Finesse Empire.
These were gifted to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
They're dope.
Right, well, this says you get a quantity of 4. Maybe these are giant. I don't know. Anyways, it's a JDM bait. It'd be expensive, is what it is. What's the next one we got? We got, oh yeah, speaking of JDMs, the Raid 2-way. So we actually got this one. I put on this list because we got the Temu version of this.
Yes.
And it was pink, bright bubblegum pink. So the Raid 2-way, it's a wacky creature. It's got a little circle in the middle and then 2 big bulbous ends with the same hairy dice situation going on. So it's got all the tentacles going off the ends, if you will. You can wacky rig it, obviously. You can also Texas rig it. You could break it in half, which is what I ended up doing. And I put it on a Gamakatsu size 2 EWG hook. and I just Texas rigged it. And I caught a bunch of bluegill, and it was great. It was a blast, absolutely a blast. Pretty cool bait. That was on the, I think it's B&E is the breaking entering. B&E is like the brand from Temu that a lot of, or B&U, B&U is the Temu
is that what it is?
company. Yes, I think so. Chat, tell me I'm wrong. Where are my Temu fans at?
They're there.
So yeah, B&U. They make a ton of the plastics that are available, like the Bellows gill.
The Fellows gill?
The Fellows gill, as we like to call it, the fake Bellows gill. And they work. They work. They're not the same as the originals, but they work. And there you go. So I thought that
get it done.
Yeah, the Raid 2A is an interesting bait. It will catch a lot of fish. Something about those little tentacles going off the ends. They're crazy about them.
Right now, one thing that I would really like to try is making a Ned rig bait or like a really skinny worm, and then making like a Hellgrammite pattern with tentacles.
Yeah. I think it'd be good because, I mean, just when it's molded itself, you can never get as much action.
Impossible.
As those can.
No,
it's not possible.
Yeah, totally
like
impossible.
Like silicone strands or rubber strands do there.
Impossible.
There's no way.
Nope.
Yeah, still on JDM. What do you think about the Nico Zaza tadpole? Little baby tadpole.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right?
Yeah, I've never. You know what? Now that I've got so much BFS stuff, I guess I probably have a lot more things that I could rig it with, like that mini football jig. Like
drop shotting.
There's probably there's a bunch of stuff. The drop shot, it really is sort of prime for. We did not give it. We didn't give it the attention it deserved.
I've never given it enough attention, but I do want to point out that it's a great bait. Like, it will absolutely catch fish. Like the Hellgrammite obviously catches fish. Of all the Nico baits, though, the leech is the one. It be the one.
I think the leech is the one that's the most accessible for the most people.
The Hellgrammite's next.
The Hellgrammite's there, but I think like a lot of people don't fish like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I could see that.
Bear.
Yeah.
And tadpole, pretty crazy bait. Check it out. And Nico makes a lot of really interesting ones. Not a big fan of the Ned. Big fan of the or the craw, because the craw is like denser than all the rest of them. But the leech and the Hellgrammite, OGs, always live in my bag. I have so many colors of the leech. It's like one of my favorite baits of all time. Super fun to fish with. The Duo Realis No Moss gill. You have not fished yet. I fished it on BFS a whole bunch. It's a great bait. So if you guys have not seen this, the Duo Realis No Moss gill, little tiny, like panfish, looks like a little baby bluegill, right? Kind of a similar fish pattern if you're familiar with the 10,000 Fish Headhunter.
Yes.
Yeah. So the 10,000 Fish Headhunter, the catch company or whatever, like that with the little hidden hook on top, right? Their little bluegill pattern. It looks similar to that. And then you hook it sideways through the top as if you're like hooking a bait fish to go catch catfish or something. And it's on just a little baby circle hook. It has a weed guard. I would just cut that off immediately. It's pointless. Yes. But you put this little thing on there. It threads through a little metal ring on the inside too, and it's made out of the hyper durable plastic. So yeah, I mean, I get problem with having all the baits with that hyper durable plastic, whatever formula they use. It melts when it touches anything, or you look at it funny, which is unfortunate. But they do have a ton of action, and they do catch a lot of fish because they're super durable. So I think that's pretty rad. If you guys have not seen that bait, you can get it on clearance. I got it for I want to say like $4 or $5. You can get it on sale if you're lucky. It's Duo Realis. So like getting it for $5 was insane. I should have bought 6. Really cool bait. I plan on fishing it a lot more. You can fish it a bunch of different ways. You can fish it like cut bait or like a rigged fish. Like if you're just hooking a fish through spine, you could fish it that way. You could yo-yo it. You could drop shot it, and you could do what I do, which is straight swim it, because even though it's hooked sideways, it's a really cool swimming action, and it works really well. So shout out to that bait. I love it. We got a couple more, and then we're going to roll into Slow Rolling Thunder, and we owe you guys a schmiv away. So last couple on here, I have fished 2 of these last 3, and I've caught fish on 2 of these last 3, and one of them is the stuff of nightmares. But we'll start with this one first. Not this one. This one does have a Halloween movie name, but it is the Z-Man Hellraiser. And I know you look at the Z-Man Hellraiser, there ain't no way you're looking at their 5-inch, or is it I think it's a 5 and a 4 or 4. Yeah, 5 and a 4 now that they have. They came out with a new size this year. Look at that 5-inch. Somebody's tying that on in a freshwater pond. You're like, there ain't no way. Like that's what are you doing? What are you doing? That bait works so well.
So good.
So good. I love it.
It really does.
And I'm just waiting for the stock to kick up because we're getting the downsized version in every color. Because the smaller size is going to be crucial where we fish. Like it is a clutch size, great action. It looks like an insane person thought this up on LSD. It has like a little chatterblade at the back that's weighted. It tips up. It's got a pencil nose looking like Beaker from the Muppets. And it's got a little like tied treble as well. It's also, I think, shrunk wrapped, but it's insane. And it's really loud and it catches a lot of fish. So this is one, do not sleep on the bait. If you see the bait anywhere, pick it up. If you see it on sale, pick it up twice.
You will get some bycatch though.
That's what I'm hoping for. I know not a lot of people hope for that.
I would agree, but just so everybody knows, you're going to get some bycatch.
It's such a pike bait. But I mean, if you live down south, maybe you don't even have to worry about that. So whatever.
That's a good point.
Fish what works for you, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, very interesting bait. Just giving it props. It catches a lot of heckin' fish, and it's really cool. Okay, this next one. Have you guys seen the Yamamoto creature with a K? Of course,
creature with a K, obviously.
And are you familiar with Lovecraft and Cthulhu? Because I'm pretty sure there's some Lovecraftian nightmare. Like it looks straight up like Cthulhu.
It is it's freaking wild. I mean, there are some. So Imakatsu makes like some wild stuff. Like they make what's the Bone Doctor? It looks like a witch doctor bait. Like it looks like a standing witch doctor. They have the hairy hog, which is gotta be. You know what? That probably could have made this list too. I've just never fished it. But yeah, this thing has the most bonkers set of appendages that you could imagine. It does not look right in the head. Totally jacked.
It does not. It looks like somebody was going through a weird time in their life when they drew that up, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make a bait out of this."
No, this will be good. This will be good.
No, it's gonna be great. Also, this last bait, oh my gosh, this is one of those baits that you're like, "What happened?" It looks like you took a topwater walking bait and then you heated it up really good and you chromed it, right? It was all chrome, and then you folded it just a little bit, right? And this is the Bill Lewis stutter step. So the Bill Lewis stutter step, I mean, it's Bill Lewis, like makes lots of legendary baits, obviously.
Sure does.
The stutter step surprisingly walks better than most walking baits I've ever
Very
used.
Well.
Like by itself, you look at it and it's like, oh, you look at it again, it's like, oh, I'm going this way, right? Like it just does it on its own. It's like remote control. It's insane. Because I got that well before even, Paul, when we went on the Michigan trip with Monster Bass.
Yep.
And I had to use a walking bait. I got the stutter step like a year before that. And I didn't even think of it as a walking bait because I didn't have to do anything.
It's just a bait that does what it's supposed to do.
It just did its thing, right? Really cool bait. Obviously comes with a lot of chrome colors for whatever reason. Can work. I think they need more colors. But it does catch fish. And if you want to use a walking bait and get those insane topwater blowups, but you don't want to learn how to for whatever reason, then you can cheat and you're just going to Bill Lewis stutter step. So there. All right. Also, we got a couple of things going on, chat. So Sly Fox Fishing, who I think is on my team now, and he was messaging me, Team Stark for the Knucklehead Bass Series. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for hanging out. And then Scott Vermonter, who has been a member of the Snorlax crew for 17 months. Oh, sorry. Chartreusers. Still acceptable, still loved, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Been with us for a while. Says, congrats, Sly Fox Fishing. And I don't know if I missed something, but what are we congratsing for? I want to shout it out to you. What's going on, chat? Tell me. Catch us up. We've been blibber blabbing about crazy baits. But yeah, you. So
he
he is
won
on
the
my
month of
team.
August.
Oh, on Monster Bass or what?
Knucklehead.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you did. You got a number 1 and a number 3. So you got 2. We need your info. I know Chaz is talking to you, so get us your info and anybody else who want. If we don't already have your info, like I'm gonna need that so I can ship you some stuff. We got some goodies from Busby, from Akuma, and who else do we have there?
Monster Bass.
Waterland. I got some
and
sunglasses. Yep. So, and Monster Bass gift card as well, also on the line. So you're gonna get a couple of those things. And DeBurley, yes, I have your info. We've sent each other many things. All right, you guys. So those are our opinions on some crazy baits that actually catch fish. And I think this deserves a follow-up. I think Paul and I will do maybe a little shopping. We haven't done a shopping video in a while.
No.
Do you want to order some stuff at some point?
I think it's probably time.
Okay. So we might put together a little shopping list. We're going to go get some crazy lures. Maybe we'll get some other things. If you guys have any recommendations, things that you want to see us fish on the channel, you got to shout it out. Like, let us hear from you. Let us know what we're missing out on, any upcoming things that you want to see, anything that you want to get reviewed. Just please don't be the guy that emailed me and said, can you get the Sea-Doo fishing jet ski and review that? Because I was like, no, like, why would I do that? It's $24,000. No, thank you. But cool. Thank you for looking for my review. I just told him, send me one. I was like, yeah, bro, totally. Send me one. And then I will do that for you specifically. Can I keep it? Maybe. We'll find out. So lots of crazy baits. We'll go pick up some stuff. And then what else we got coming up? I think I have a video for you guys on Monday that I got to do, which is on the new spinner baits from Fish Lab and their crazy little trailer, a little 2-inch tail coming off the back. So that is coming out. And then Paul is editing our first wonderful river fishing adventure in the Crescent Shoalies. And I do emphasize
so well.
Wonderful. There were challenges to be had. We're fresh back on the river. I actually fished the river. I didn't tell you this. Labor Day. I just picked a random stretch of Kalamazoo and I hopped on. It was pretty rad. And I caught a bunch of dinks. All the dinks in the land were mine. Let's get into this slow rolling thunder and let's do a schmiv-away. What line cutters I have on my hat?
Hybrid scissors.
Yep. The hybrid scissors from Line Cutters. If you guys see my hat and my choice that I've gone with that Paul hates, but like I just can't get away from. The Line Cutters hybrid scissors have a little clip on it that you can take off. If you don't like it, you can take it off like Paul did and just put it on.
I did a video. It's going to pop up on YouTube in like a week.
Yep. So they're $20, I want to say, or maybe a little cheaper, but they came out with a glow in the dark one this year that's $20. They're red. I'm never going back. Like I've had every type of scissors you guys can think of, and they stink.
Well, what's the best part about these ones that the other ones do not have? And it's not the hybrid.
So it's not the multiple cutting option?
That's not the best part.
Okay. I don't know. What is it?
The best part, by far, is that they don't get stuck shut.
Oh, like the boomerangs.
Boomerang forever.
Good cop, bad cop. Hey, Boomerang, constructive criticism. Make sure.
Sorry.
Guys, I'm trying to train Paul to be a little bit nicer. People don't like how mean he is.
What's wrong with F Boomerang forever? Exactly.
What part of F Boomerang forever
do
you think they'll be upset about? I'm just curious. Please explain.
Is it the truth part about it?
You know. All right. So there are a lot of scissors that go dull in 5 seconds.
They're huge. A lot of them are gigantic.
Yeah.
They weigh so much that a normal retractor is like held open by their weight.
Yeah. Yep.
Why?
So that's deal breaker for me. Hybrid scissors for life. So let's get into this slow rolling thunder. And as we're doing this, a lot of you guys are following the rules. You've been here before. Appreciate you. If this is your first time hanging out with us on live, welcome and thank you for being here. I know I saw a few new folks who said they subscribed, so thank you for subscribing and thank you for joining us. We do a giveaway every episode. So end of the show here, we've got a $25 gift card to monsterbass.com. Good for everything but the subscription. They sell all the tackle you could ever want, though, and they sell rods. An ultralight rod, which is what? Nigh inevitable, I'll say. What are we, a month out? I think Rick said hopefully a month out on the new aggressively average angler.
They have been ordered.
Mm-hmm.
Production is on the way.
Yep. So
that's all you need to know.
It's inevitable. There you go. It's real. We said, we didn't lie. All right. So thank God. So let's get into first slow rolling thunder, possibly only slow rolling thunder. It's a big question that I got to ask for my peeps who have been here before. All my nerds. You guys get this. We want to make a new shirt. It's been a long time running. Flip around and find out. Ned Rig Nerds, both still available. Both still exist. Got decals for both. And we are making a AAA decal. For whatever reason, the way the website works, it's making the image like upside down. And I'm like, this is dumb. So I have to figure out the technology behind that so I can fix the image on it. So stay tuned. That'll be happening. But I'd like to come out with another shirt. So feel free in chat. Let us know some of your thoughts. But I thought, Chaz, maybe we do a poll. And I want to explain these 4 t-shirts that have been on our list forever. One of which is mostly done. Like, it's pretty much done. So the first one I'll throw out there, we take the first bait that started today's episode, the Lunker Hunt Spider. We shade it out, right? Different color. And then it's just a big image of a phantom spider. And it says, I'm a frog.
in like a thought bubble. It's saying in a thought bubble, I'm a frog. That's the
I'm a frog. And then on the back it says Debo's Fishing's favorite lure.
TM.
I think TM, Debo's Fishing, TM. That's the shirt. That's the shirt right there. So we're going through. There's four options, you guys. What's the next shirt we're gonna make? That's one. Number 2, we discussed last week. We came up with this. You guys remember Spencer's Gifts? Hot Topic. They had like those cartoon shirts back in the day. It would be three squares, right? And it'd be like a dude doing whatever, right? So we want a WOP, like a Whopper Plopper. What was it? No, WOP Prop. Thank you. So a Whopper Plopper, which would be a WOP or a plop.
Props, plops, and pops.
Thank you. I totally forgot about this one. All right. So one is a Whopper Plopper. It says plop underneath. One is a buzz bait. It says prop underneath, or a prop bait, whatever. And one is a popper, and it says pop underneath. So it's plops, props, and pops. I don't know. I love it. We'll just call that post-show idea. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're bad. You let me know what you think. Third one. This would have never happened in my Crocs. Like, just text.
With a big croc in the middle, maybe angled upwards. It will be the rainbow color croc.
Yep. Okay.
And I also think props, plops, and pops should be Crocs, plops, and pops.
Oh, and then there's a beer, like it's a dad pop.
Yeah.
Crocs, and then it's a Whopper Plopper,
and pops,
and then a pop. I like that. All right, consider that redone. Just change Crocs. So Crocs, plops, and pops.
I got it written down.
Thank you. Sometimes you can take a bad idea and make it a great idea. Just
give me a minute.
I would have liked the other idea too. So third idea was this would have never happened in my Crocs. Right? You decide the context. That's like my favorite phrase ever.
Like whatever's happening.
Anything goes wrong, you're just like, this would have never happened in my Crocs. Which is where that came from. We were on a fishing trip. But
exactly.
The fourth option, last one, OG. I wanted to throw this on the list. Is down with big sunscreen. And I don't misunderstand. I'm not saying don't wear any sunscreen. I'm saying there's an appropriate amount of SPF.
I imagine 35. Do you remember Mustard Plug, the logo?
The logo? No, but I'm gonna look it up.
Look it up.
Okay. Which come on.
The band.
Oh, yeah. Yes, perfect.
So
right?
Mustard Plug had
And it's
a
just
mustard jar and it was very strong.
Yeah.
I would make the same thing. I would make a very burly,
sunscreen,
strong bottle of sunscreen with an angry face. And it would be like SPF 70. And then there would be a big circle and it would be crossing him out. Down with big sunscreen.
I love it.
We don't need that. It's overkill.
There you go. That's on the table.
I think I'm a Frog has to happen. I don't know that it's really an option. It's not close.
It's guaranteed, but now I kind of like crops, plops, and pops.
Crocs, plops, and pops.
Plops could be a depths scatter share. It's just a poop bait. Crocs, plops. Just okay. It's getting better or it's getting worse. And this would have never happened in my Crocs. I don't care if you guys like it or not. It's one of my favorite. Maybe it never gets made. Doesn't matter. Okay, here we go. The results are I'm a frog, and it's not close. 52% want the Lunker Hunt Spider. I'm a frog.
So do I.
Done. Happening. I know it's an inside joke. It doesn't matter. Like, that's the fun of this. That's the fun of being able to do drop ship teas, is that I don't have to buy 100 of these. We'll just give you guys a link. You can buy them if you want, just like all the other ones. They're available below this video right now. There's a link. Check it out. You can also look at Join Now if you want to see what memberships are like. Because we have a members only live. A what? A Shatterbait. All right. More number 2 ideas for baits. Keep them going. Drop ship teas. Good one. We do have a members only live next Tuesday, right, Chas?
The 12th.
Yes, maybe. The 12th?
The 12th.
8:15 p.m. We're doing some schmivaways on that one. Everybody who's a member is invited. So Burly Elite, Charducers, Snorlaxers. Just want to throw that out there. Last question. We'll draw our winner as we dive into this one.
I like it.
Okay. So you just wrote this down. You want to read it?
So if you could only have one, you can only have one kayak.
Mm-hmm.
All things considered, money, quality, the fact that it's your only kayak, you have a truck, you're not gonna, you have to get a trailer maybe.
Yep.
Assuming you're gonna have or have to make a budget for this kayak from scratch.
Okay.
What is the setup gonna be?
Wait, so I have to take into consideration how much I'm gonna spend on this?
Everything. Every single thing. The ultimate reality of like picking a kayak. Let's say you have nothing right now. You can only get one. Now you could make it. Sure. For the rest of the foreseeable future.
That's unfortunate.
Years.
I better take
multiple years.
Absolute care of this thing.
Well, no, but think about it. So it's got to be your river boat. It's got to be your lake boat. It's got to be your big lake boat. It's got to do everything.
Okay. Since
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Pedal, paddle, or motor?
It's a paddle motor. Like it has to be a paddle with a motor. Because I'm taking into consideration that I want to use the lake, but I also want to use a river, and I know that regardless of taking the drive out, it's going to have an impact. And paddling a barge in a river is just not a thing that I want to ever do.
It's horrible.
Because I've done it. It sucks.
Okay.
So it's got to be a paddle vessel. It's going to get a motor, Newport or Torpedo. Probably not a Bixby. I like the other two better. Also, was it RAR Fishing message?
Yeah, he just got the Bixby.
RAR Fishing just got a Bixby. We were talking to him. I'm interested to see what he thinks of it. I tested one out on a Lono Arrow from Boat, and it was slow. It was just slow, and I just wasn't
underpowered.
The Torpedo's insane. And the Newport's very similar. The guy, Steve over at Waterdog, has that on his vessel. So he was telling us about it a little bit, and they sell them. So very interested in that. But yeah, like a paddle vessel is going to control better. I'm going to have better steering with the rear mounted motor. I'm going to be able to lift that up, go up river, shallow sections, just leave it up. Have a guard for rocks, logs, from the company that I can't remember the name of, that Jeff Little was telling us about. Innovative Outdoors.
Innovative Sportsman.
Thank you. So get some of those things. Throttle control is really nice. So
what boat?
What boat is a great question, and I don't know that I have.
I'm so glad that I asked.
I don't know that I have the answer. Like that's a tough one because I just haven't tried enough paddle boats. I wouldn't do it on my Shoaly.
RVR or like a SS 127.
Yeah, I think it'd be more the size of the SS 127, but it could be. I was just telling you before the show, and I think only Hoover's posted anything about it. Bonafide hardly has images of it, but the PWR, the new it's a 129, so it's a 12'9", and it's rigged to fish anything. I mean, you can rig it however you want. Like it's ready to be rigged. It's one of the most riggable, is what they're promoting, kayaks that exist. We'll wait to see if that's true.
Yeah,
but that seems interesting. I'm out on a skiff now. You broke me on it. You broke me on the skiff. I was in it and then I was out of it. Even like the 360 Blue Water Boatworks, which is a Jackson collab, like that one has the 2 tunes, right? Very stable mid deck, very large vessel. It's got lots of storage in it, and I'm just like, open deck. I don't know that I can fall in love with just the wide open deck. Like a sup, I'd rather just get a sup, take one rod, one box, and fish off of it, than have like my life is a sup. My life is a micro skiff. They're cool, absolutely. If it's my only boat, I'm probably out. So I need to test more paddle boats. That's what it really comes down to, is I need to test more paddle boats. Because I wouldn't say the SS 127's it. The PWR could be cool. I would love to see a lot more.
What about the light tackle?
Old Town, even the light tackle too is great. Like, and that might be the closest I know, because I've driven Jeff Little's with the Torpedo on it.
Yeah.
At 6.5 miles an hour, whipping turns, and it was really cool. And I know a lot of people talk to us about its secondary stability and just getting used to standing up in that versus a Hobie. I'm interested in learning more about. So I could stand and fish out of it. So it might be that's near the top of my list right now, I would say.
But what about an Old Town?
I was trying to think which one I would get, though.
I think you get the
MX,
the Predator,
or the Predator, the like
paddle version of the current. Or do they have a paddle only Sportsman? I think they do.
Paddle only Sportsman? I mean,
paddle
it should be
only.
Yeah, I'm out on pedal just because of where we want to actually fish. So what would we say? The Old Town. Chaz, let's go ahead and draw that winner while we're doing this. My Stanley Cup? What are you talking about? Oh, my dupe that says Michigan on it now? Look, I have one sticker.
So those Sportsmen...
This is by Reduce.
Oh my God.
Meyer brand.
The Sportsman 120 or the Topwater 120 are both $1,500, $1,449.
Is it the Topwater?
The Topwater 120 or the Sportsman 120. I'd probably go with Sportsman 120.
Are both paddle only?
Yeah, but they're easily one of the better stand-up kayaks out there.
$1,449?
Yeah.
Mark Thomas has won the Schmiv.
Tight.
Mark Thomas, are you here? Good point. Scott Vermonter. Everybody knows wins everything. Awesome. Well, congrats to Mark, and get us your info. Follow the instructions on the screen, and we will ship you out that gift card tonight. So we were looking, we were just checking out some of these paddle kayaks, and I like, first of all, I love this question, because sure, if I wanted to think about like my main go-to
vessel, only 85 pounds.
The Topwater 120 or
the Sportsman?
85 is not bad. That's,
for a 12-footer, that's not
7-8 pounds more than the
10 pounds
the
more, 10 or 15 more than my Crescent.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Jason Jones. Thank you. The New Canoe Unlimited. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, it's not for me. You can't paddle it. It's a sweet boat. I would get that as a 2-person boat.
You can't paddle it because it's 40 inches wide.
Yeah, it's huge. I love it. It's a cool boat, but not for a paddle boat. I think if you were like, when we were talking about it, I was actually thinking, I was like, you know what? I would get that as an alternative to a John boat, right? Like, you're going to get an electric motor, a big one, maybe even a tiller, and you and I could fish out of that and still have room for all our crap. and like I could have a kid on there too. But you know what the problem is really for me? It's
a
like
barge.
And it's a storage problem. Like I'm really unhappy with that setup just in general.
Sure.
Like when I think I'm really excited. I'm kind of ticked that it's already September. Like I'm not going to get time in the light tackle until next season. And so that's really bothering me because I really feel like that light tackle is going to be it. Like once I get adapted to that boat, that's going to be it. So I was thinking about this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to migrate my electronics over from my
Hobie.
I'm actually going to take my Lowrance and I'm going to drop that through the scupper hole. It's a non-install, $40.
Right.
There's it's like a little suction, not a suction cup. It's like a little clamp that just clamps through your scupper hole. And I can do the Lowrance with like no drilling whatsoever.
Fair.
It's perfect. And I can try it and I'll center mount it, I think is what I'm going to do. And then that way I can use the small kayak battery. It doesn't weigh anything. Like it weighs literally nothing. And I don't have to like do anything or do any work. And it's going to be a really cheap, really light install. And when I don't want it, it's not adding like any weight at all. So I'm like, for 120 pounds, like that boat's fully rigged, totally loaded out with probably more than I need. I was looking at like I have the Yak Attack box on there. It's more than what I need. It's way more than what I need. I don't need it.
For sure.
So I'm kind of in on like the minimalistic.
It's interesting.
I think that's going to be it. And then like if I put a motor on it, it's just a fully modded out boat. And then I'm okay with all the weight. I don't really care.
Interesting. I mean, like I said, I'd have to look at a lot more. The issue that I have with like the Old Town, I mean, it's deeper. It's a deeper hull that you're inside of, so you're going to get a little more stability out of it. I'd feel more comfortable
lot
standing.
More. You're right. It's the only thing that competes with the Old Town and maybe the Titan X.
With
the native, that big Titan X.
Oh, the native Slayer.
Those are the only things that are going to compete at that level of stability.
Yeah. What about the big water? So the big water is 86 pounds.
It's huge. Yeah, 13. It's a big boat though. It is. Yeah, it's 13 feet. I wouldn't even get the 120 if I was in a paddle only and I was going to put a motor on it. I'd get the 10-footer. I think at least just for me,
you would 12 minimum for me.
I think you're
12 feet.
I think you would be so surprised, but I get it. For 12 foot, if you want a 12 foot, sure.
Yeah.
And then maybe you just go big water at that point. But paddling that thing is not going to be fun. Paddling the 10-footer, no problem.
I don't think I'll be doing that much. Like I'm gonna be motoring a lot.
Yep.
So I mean, I would want to set it up. I might even go big water just so I can put a bow mount motor and a Torqeedo on it, so I can spot lock. And I mean, the only time that I really needed, there's some really cool new attachments for like the bow mount. That
we were just talking about it.
Just watching a video on it. It was from iCast last year.
Third party,
yeah, it's you just snap it in and snap it off. There's no cables, right? So you could do a bow mount super easy, take it off for river trip days, and then just run your Torqeedo Newport, whatever. I don't. This is like a whole nother episode. We really went down a rabbit hole, so we're gonna have to come back.
I think we should have to do that episode.
Build the one kayak to rule them all.
Yeah.
The only thing I want is I would love to be in more of them just so I could say like, okay, I've felt this thing on the water. Here's what I like. Here's my preferences. Because it's also like the layout we're learning is like a big thing, switching kayaks, trying different things out. You got to get used to that layout, what you can change, what you can't change. Yeah. Anyways, lots of stuff to talk about. Hey, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, even though we broke our stream and then fixed it. And then probably for the first 5 minutes of this stream, we're like, are we good? Are we bad? What's happening? I think it was members only for 2 minutes and then Josh switched it to public. So I don't even know you could do that. Lots of things have happened. We've all grown together and this is great. So thanks for growing with us, you guys. We'll be back next Wednesday. Sounds like we're going to be talking about the one kayak to rule them all. Why not end the kayak fishing season with that? That makes a lot of sense. So we'll obviously have to pick this up during build season in March. We do have Tuesday, our members only live. So members, please join us then. We're going to have a lot of fun and we got some giveaways for you as well. Thanks for giving us a kick in the butt to come out with the next shirt. I'm a Frog. Phantom Spider will be happening, and there will be hopefully no infringements from Lunker Hunt. I'm sure they're our biggest fans. All right, that's all we got for you guys tonight, and we'll talk to you next time. See you, nerds. Chaz, take us out of here.
Took a swing at a wrecking ball, and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same. All you can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm sad to say I'm sorry, so lie. Pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. And so I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie. Life kept spitting at my feet and forced me down a dead-end street, when all I had went up in flames, burning only dark remains.